Hey everyone, it's Yuma392, and today I'm here with a new video about Pikmin 3, and regarding something new that happened. And so, assuming that you're not like living under a couch or something, you're probably aware of the reveal of the Winged Pikmin. Now, I know we've seen them in the E3 trailer, but now we've been given more information about them, and so if you haven't been up to date with all this stuff, I'll tell you about it. First off, they can fly! Which is totally not implied by the fact that they have wings. So with this unique ability, they are actually able to fly over obstacles such as water, which kind of makes blue Pikmin not as worth as much as they used to be. Since pink Pikmin are able to fly over water, that means that they can complete tasks like, I don't know, completing a bridge or something, maybe breaking down a gate that lets other Pikmin through. It seems to only leave the job of killing monsters within the water or carrying treasures out of the water, the only job for blue Pikmin. I have a feeling that pink Pikmin have a lot of downsides compared to other Pikmin. First off, I don't think they are able to be thrown, since Captain A, B, or whoever can't reach them from up high, and none of the gameplay does show the characters throwing them. But is this truly that much of a disadvantage to them? It seems like in this one scene with the swooping snitch bug, they are commanded to swarm it as it grabs a hold of a few Pikmin. From what I know, swarming works by locking onto an enemy or entity and shaking the nunchuck to command them to swarm. So this basically means that throwing isn't that necessary unless you're trying to throw them up to a higher place, which, by the way, they can probably just fly up there. Although the disadvantage might be that they just cannot complete any ground tasks. Maybe there are some tasks in the game that require Pikmin to be standing on the ground, and maybe Winged Pikmin are actually unable to stand on their 2 feet, so therefore they're unable to help with that task. Oh, and by the way, if I ever call them pink Pikmin, I'm sorry. I'm just kind of still getting used to the Winged Pikmin thing, so. Another large disadvantage for pink Pikmin might be that when enemies blow gusts at these Pikmin, they get blown away farther. Just an idea that I want to throw out there that was created by my good friend Diskette Detective. Maybe there are certain parts in the game where over water there's actually like overhanging brush, so your Winged Pikmin can't actually go past that, so you'll have to bring blue Pikmin through there. In fact, there might be a lot of pathways like this. And it might mean that you can't bring Winged Pikmin through caves. And come to think of it, don't you remember back in E3?
Now you can see the tiny movements of each Pikmin, and you can see that the...
A good friend of mine, Layretz, brought up a really good point. Remember that water skater bug that was shooting water at your Pikmin? This is probably how the game counters the overuse of Winged Pikmin, since any non-blue Pikmin going through the water or over the water will be affected by these guys. For all we know, the flying caterpillar could be a huge threat to Winged Pikmin. You know, I've been trying to find a lot of flaws in pink Pikmin. I'm sorry, dudes. But while we're at it, I think I wanted to check one more thing. In part of the new Nintendo Direct, there's a scene where the Winged Pikmin are swarming a swooping snitch bug. I noticed that the swooping snitch bug wasn't taking as much damage as you'd think from an entire swarm of 24 Pikmin, especially when they're latched on at the same time. I took some recordings of the previous 2 games and how much damage they'll take when I swarm Pikmin on them. Now I used 24 average striking Pikmin, about half of them having leaves. Since in Pikmin 1, swooping snitch bugs have more health, that's pretty much out of the picture. But compared to Pikmin 2, yes, in fact, the Pikmin 3 one does take more damage. However, not all of the yellow Pikmin were latched on. Despite this, Pikmin 2 came very close to Pikmin 3. This is a very rough estimate, but we might be able to assume that pink Pikmin don't do as much damage as the average Pikmin. After searching out for all these disadvantages, how about let's hear some good things about the pink Pikmin. Firstly, as the video opens up, we see 3 yellow legs of some sort. The shadow beneath the light is the shape of a rotating flower, much like an onion. This must mean that Winged Pikmin get onions. We see the Winged Pikmin carrying pellets in the... What the fuck? You see that? They're carrying pellets in the air! So that's pretty cool. I mean, who wouldn't like to carry things in the air? I mean, that can just get past any obstacle, man. The fact that they're carrying pellets in the first place is more evidence that they're bringing it back to an onion of some sort. Another ability that pink Pikmin might have is a slight resistance to being crushed. In this clip featuring yellow Wollywogs, a few Winged Pikmin appear to have been crushed by this yellow Wollywog, but it appears that they're completely safe. they're just knocked out of the air for a bit. If it isn't obvious enough, Winged Pikmin have a huge advantage over aerial enemies. We're essentially able to use the swarm command whenever we want, and they will attack it. I'm going to pause the video real quick here. As you can see in the background, there seems to be a huge ravine that can be crossed via a bridge. Obviously, this bridge must have been built by some sort of Pikmin. If it wasn't the Winged Pikmin who built that, then my name's obviously not Yamat392. Secret, my name's really Tommy. So from this, we can assume that pink Pikmin are able to go over large cliffs and work on tasks on the other side. So that's about all I could find as far as abilities for pink Pikmin. Now I'm going to move on to something else. Now I want to talk about enemies that we've never seen in Pikmin 3 before. Alright, well firstly, for the first few seconds, we see a Wogpole, which we've already seen in that one screenshot with the ice area. However, this shot is a lot clearer. Next up, we see Wollywogs. In Pikmin 3, they have a more practical way of levitating in the air for a bit. When they want to levitate in the air, they puff out their throats like it's a balloon, which keeps them afloat. In the background of the same scene, there appears to be a strange creature inside the pond. It looks a lot like a toady bloister. It even has the onion. It's very unclear, so I'm not 100% sure, but it looks a lot like it. In the clip with Winged Pikmin carrying pellets over the water, there's actually a water dumple that emerges from under the lily pad. A friend of mine who goes by N-Vortex actually found something very interesting in the top left-hand corner of the same scene. It's clearly moving, but other than that, we can't really tell what it is. N-Vortex claims that it might be a translucent Wollywog, which maybe, but it could be anything for all we know. And of course, we all know, since I've been talking about it a little bit, and I kind of expanded on it, the swooping Snitchbug returns in this game, and he looks pretty cool. So that's about all I found as far as enemies go. Now I'm going to move on to less significant things, or things that I found very interesting in the footage. Firstly, the pink little plants in the background bear a resemblance to the fiddleheads seen in the other Pikmin games. The captain's cursor in this gameplay appears to be pink and has a number next to it. I think the number changes depending on how many Pikmin are currently following you. This cursor is never shown in any other gameplay. It could be something new that they've added to the game just to get rid of the HUD, but it could also just be exclusive to the Winged Pikmin, since they differentiate from the other Pikmin so much. This part of the video is a little bit interesting. I'll pause the video real quick. It's at this top right hand corner that I'm most interested. This seems to be a pathway to some sort of garden or something. Would it be possible that maybe in Pikmin 3 we might actually get closer to the houses of humans? It's a stretch, but hey, you never know. Secondly, there's a strange 30 hovering above some of these plants. Typically these blue numbers are hovering over tasks that your Pikmin can complete. For example, blue numbers hover over fragments, which you can get Pikmin to build bridges out of. Now my question here is, what task could 30 Pikmin do in this area? There doesn't seem to be anything around it. As of now, it's a complete mystery. Oh boy, there's a lot for me to talk about in this one. So first off, we can see an egg that we've seen from Pikmin 2. This will be a really good source for nectar and maybe sprays if they return. Heck, it might even mean Maitai's return. I also wanted to make note of that beautiful waterfall in the background. I also noticed that a lily pad kind of came off of it as the screen kind of made it go off screen. On the other side of the water, I noticed the Winged Pikmin on the other side that were idle seemed really cute when they're in their idle animation. If you look in the way back, there appears to be a pellet posy of some sort, so that's just a little confirmation that yes, pellet posies are back, along with the pellets, of course. Now onto the last scene. In the background is what seems to be an overturned pot. It kind of makes me wonder, will there be any way to go through that little hole on the bottom? It would open up an entire new area for you to explore. One last thing, and I'll have to pause for this one. This fruit that's hanging off this vine highlights as your cursor hovers over it. I'll rewind the video a bit so I can get a clear look at it. I have a feeling that this fruit might be a treasure for your Pikmin to collect. Although something very strange about it, it seems like the way of retrieving it is so specific that it might have something to do with the storyline. Call me crazy, but I think the storyline might possibly be about gathering fruit. Just a suggestion, but maybe the storyline of the game is that Hokotade is losing a food supply, so therefore these 4 captains have to go to the Pikmin planet to try retrieving food. This is only a guess, so there's barely any evidence to prove this, so yeah, I doubt it's gonna happen. So that's about it as far as the small little details that I could pick up from the video. Now I wanted to talk about something regarding the Winged Pikmin. I have a hunch that maybe Winged Pikmin are a lot less normal than all the other Pikmin. Like sure, plant animals are very strange, but there's something really weird about the Winged Pikmin that I just can't put my finger on. I feel like maybe Winged Pikmin might be some kind of, I don't know, legendary kind of Pikmin. Not like legendary like Pokemon or something, but just something, I don't know, more special than the normal Pikmin. Maybe what I'm trying to describe is maybe some sort of like other subspecies, but I really don't know. Regardless, the point that I'm trying to make is maybe they're like a fairy-like Pikmin. I'm not just talking about looks, but a lot of characteristics about them seem to point towards this. Firstly, their onion's design contrasts quite a lot from the other Pikmins. It seems a lot more, I don't know, mystical than the other onions that we've seen in the other games. But for all we know, onions might just have a full redesign in this game, so this might apply to all onions. Also, when the Skitterleaf relative eats one of them, the noise that it makes when it dies seems very melodic, kinda like what you'd expect from a fairy or something.
They will be helpful in different ways.
In the end, I don't really know what I'm trying to prove or anything. I just feel like there's something special about them compared to the others. So assuming I'm not forgetting anything, that's about all I've got about the video. Now I'm going to move on to the screenshots that were released along with the video. The first screenshot in this set seems to be when you first meet the Winged Pikmin. There's nothing that special I can say about it besides the fact that the onion's legs seem to be missing, along with the shadow. Maybe Nintendo's trying to hide the fact that there is an onion. I don't know, but the screenshot does give a really good look at the Winged Pikmin. This next one features a group of Winged Pikmin following Captain A through a small little pond area. As you can see, there's a little wogpole hiding behind that flower. But what I really want you to notice is look at those water effects. That is impressive, Nintendo. I'm sure a lot of other games have done that too, but I'm just glad they're applying it to this one. This one seems to be a screenshot from that same scene that we saw in the video. With this one we get a really close look at what the pellets look like. And let me tell you, these pellets look awesome. They almost look like real candy. They almost kind of remind me of konpaito, a kind of Japanese candy. Other than that, I don't think there's anything I can really make note of in this one. The last one, again, seems to be a screenshot from the video. I don't think there's anything to really make note of, other than the fact that the swooping snitchbug looks so cool. It's got a little bit of iridescence, which really makes it kind of like insecty, so that's really cool. In the background, I noticed little fragments from that pot, and they look like they're the same color as the bridge seen in the video. So maybe this screenshot was taken before the actual gameplay was taken. That pretty much covers most of what I wanted to talk about in this video. As you can see, this is the official box art for Pikmin 3 that will be seen on shelves. I wanted to show you something real quick that supports one of the claims that I made earlier in this video. As you can see in the background, a pink Pikmin is gathering an unripe strawberry, and the blue Pikmin is leaning on some kind of berry of some sort. Since this is the official cover art, maybe this hints towards a storyline. Again, maybe the main objective of the game is to gather fruit for some reason. Again, I don't know, I'm just making up guesses, so, I mean, I don't know. The last thing I can say about the cover art, someone on Tumblr who goes by JoFamo noticed that the appendages on the rock Pikmin seem to be more, I don't know, transparent or white compared to what we've seen before. This probably means nothing, but I might as well make note of it. So to wrap things up, I just want to say cover art looks amazing. There's actually an expanded image on the Japanese website that I'll show here real quick. And this one shows white and purple Pikmin on the sidelines, so that's really cool. So, the number one question here that we've always had, when's the game coming out? Well, Nintendo announced on their Twitter that the game is planned to come out August 4th. So yes, the game has been delayed by quite a bit, but now that it's a more specific date, I feel like we can hold on to this one more. If it does get delayed again, so be it. I mean, if they need to take more time to develop it, then hey, let them. That just about wraps up this video. Thank you, Nintendo, for sharing this new information about Winged Pikmin. The game's looking great. Keep up the good work. August is going to be a great month for Pikmin fans. However, on the Japanese Nintendo Direct, they said the game is coming out July 13th, I think. So they will get it earlier than us. So if you don't want to spoil it, then I'd be careful about that. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope I helped you, notice something new that you never saw before. And yeah. So next time an update comes out, yeah, I'll be here. I'll update you guys with new videos. So see you next time.